Alrighty, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It is Tuesday, and we've had kind of a long holiday weekend. I did Friday, but not Monday. Thought I was doing Monday instead of Friday, but that was alright. I did one or the other, and that was good enough for me. As you can see, the dollar kind of firm there again as usual. You see it there on the J4X, right there. Swiss is moving up. It's been going up for days. We're at the top end of the range. Getting very high up there, past the 80s. When it comes to the two stochastics that battle with each other every day as an indicator, and over on where is it on here? Chicago Quant. Oh, that's crude oil. That's October crude oil. Let's find it over here, right there. There we go. Let's put that in there. And over on, hey Robin, how you doing? We are live, hot, steady, and straight. And then over on Chicago Quant, same thing. Last I saw, let me see where the Swiss is now. But one of the actions we've been seeing is that there's been a lot of firmness with the dollar against pretty much all the pairs trades, and especially the yen. You see that? You see it with the Swiss making, moving into, higher territories. There's that's a New Zealand dollar pairs trade right there. Let's put the Swiss up there. Right there. Stock indices are mild. Their Dow Jones Industrial Average is basically unchanged, up like 13 points. Jordan, how you doing? And let me think what else we got going on there. The European stock indices were firm. Oil is... Well, we just had oil up. Maybe we take a quick look at that. Where's oil again? I saw oil was... where is it at? If I go like this. I guess I got to bring that down a little bit and then lift it up like so. There we are. There's the Swiss. You see that was just ripping just like it is on J4X there. And oil itself has been very firm. It closed out in the 106 area. I think it was on Friday. Or Thursday, I guess it is, last week on the Good Friday. And then at the same time, we started seeing, let's see, where is it at? I just want to see where oil is. And then crude oil, I know it's around here somewhere. There's British pound, metals, indices, softs, cattle. Where did my crude oil go? There's gold. Alright, we'll have to go jump. Oh, there it is. And so crude oil itself, we'll just throw it up there at the same time just to not torture you, but there it is. Crude oil has broken from, I guess it was yesterday, they had it up as high as 102.50 in the October contract. The spot contract was up to 109 and now is trading at 105 as we speak. So the 105, 106 area has been the place for the last couple of days. The back month is just breaking the century mark again. They got that contango going on. But everything seems to be still aiming in that direction when it comes to the dollar. The dollar the dollar index is very firm, but in a daily sell, but in a weekly buy, it's at all-time highs. Same thing going on with, you can see the Swiss here just was up almost as high as 95 today alone. It's starting to back off, back to the kind of like the low part of the range in the 94.5 area. Dollar is very firm. They pay interest rates. That's probably what I always try to remind people is that the dollar bonds, bonds in the United States pay interest, and since they pay interest, it's really, really hard not to, be involved. It really is. I mean, in other words, you got to buy them, and there's nowhere else to go. I heard somebody today. I say it here a lot. I talk about the fact of large blocks of equity, like $1 trillion worth or $500 billion worth, and they were saying that the Fed was going to start reducing its balance sheet, and they hope to clear close down $1 trillion this year, and then someone kicked in. Awful hard to move $1 trillion. In other words, it's not easy to just get the price you want. And that's what it really comes down to. Imagine if the Chinese or the Japanese needed to take all their money in one day. Well, they have $1 trillion sitting in there now. They can take $100 billion out of it over a 5 or 6 day period or 2 week period, something like that. But if they try to take out, $1 trillion out of it, then chances are is that they'll only walk away with, say, 780 or 800 billion. They may lose 15 or 20% because the buyers there's no other buyers on the planet but us. In other words, we can't depend on China to be a buyer and a seller at the same time. Can't depend on Japanese are very organized, but they don't have the ability to play with $1 trillion and move it around. In other words, I'll buy $1 trillion worth of something and then they're going to go try selling it. Only person who can, or not person, but only entity that can actually step up and do something like that is the U.S. Nobody else has the ability to do that. Not the European Central Bank, nothing. So, matter of fact, you can see where the European Central Bank has chosen not even to do anything with this inflation. They're just they said they'll start working on it in 6 months, 2 more quarters. That's what they said. They'll work on it in 2 more quarters. It reminds me of Draghi, where Draghi would find ways of saying what he was going to do and he got it done, but he never had to spend any money to do it. Now look at that. Look at the Swiss since we've come on the air. It's been a plus by about 20 some odd pips, and now it is actually minus by about 17 pips. So whatever financial information that came out put a little chill into that one, didn't it? What an interesting spike. Look at that spike, right? Let's see if we can show it to you, right? Where's that mouse at? There's the Swiss. Look at that spike back on March 16th, and that became the beginning of an adjustment to the downside. And look at the spike here. We're through it. Look at this. This whole range it needs to be totally reset. We're seeing action that we've not seen at all in years in the Swiss. And the range, we thought that maybe this would be the top of the range right here, but I don't know. It's really questionable. We'll see if this finds a way in the next 2 days to trade underneath the red line here. Maybe it will find its way back down to the high 92 3/4 area, something like that. We'll see. But that took what did that do? It took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, almost 2 weeks of trading to really get down there. So this action we're seeing today, might play itself out over the next week or so, and you can see we are in a weekly buy right there. You see that action there? This is the 3rd week, but look at the way the line on the daily has really taken a dive, and look at the way over here on J4X, same situation right there. It's taking that dive, and all that green is going on. And we'll see if it switches colors over the next few hours. And for us, we might see the red dot appear almost any minute with the way this thing's rocking. So, yes, that's the way the world looks this morning. And what was it? The gold? The gold is down, a couple bucks. Like I think it's down about a little under $4 at this point. The world's not exactly panicked. I understand that the Mr. Putin's Air Force flew 2 nuclear bombers over Ukraine, or on the edge of the Ukraine borderline or something like that, to show a sign of force, insinuating that he would nuke them. Wow. What crazy times, huh? Definitely crazy times. All right. Let's jump over to the euro and see what the euro is up to this morning. There it is right there. On Chicago Quant, banging at the bottom end of its range. You can see it's been in the daily sell for a while now. Weeks in that daily sell. And then let's take a look at it on J4X. Right there. Lots of red. Lots of pressure, just like we see over in Chicago. Lots of pressure, pressing down. Ooh, let me check the chat line. I've been on a ramble there for a little bit. There you go. Good. I didn't miss anybody. And so, strong dollar, oil, wow, almost up to spot. Got to 110, just about. It's kind of it's hard to believe that oil can really back off. That's what we were saying before, too. Now, October oil, which is what, 4 months from now, really? So we're in May now. And so that's the June contract. Remember, they're reversed. So in other words, a May contract expires in April, and a June contract expires in May. So, it's backwards. So a July contract expires in June. So an October contract expires in September. So oil at the end of the summer is discounted by about $5 right now. They think that it'll be lower. And the driving season's coming on, so that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. I know an oil trader that tells me every so often, he says, it's going higher over the summer months. Going higher. So we'll see how that plays. Just a little tidbit before we go on to the euro a little bit more here, but I understand that that release of oil, don't get angry, Robin. Listen to this one. The release of oil, I just heard from a friend that's a trader from many years back, said that he told me there's a story in Zero Hedge about how they're tracing the release of the American reserves, and it's going to Europe, to Amsterdam. Now, we all know oil is fungible, so we'll bring that up in the oil side of this webinar. But the release that Mr. Biden's doing is going to Amsterdam right now. All right, so to finish off the euro, you see we're at the bottom end of the range right there. And you see the daily is still fighting not to get into the buy, and you can see we've been in a weekly sell for a while in this product. And then when you look at J4X, you see the same situation going on. White line busted down the last 4 or 5 days. Was it 1, 2, 3, 4? Right there, like that. Whereas we've been, our math, the Chicago, that's why obviously, we show you Chicago, is because of the accuracy of it is so high. And you can see it's been in the sell since 10 days back now. So, and with it being in a weekly sell and a daily sell, that means every time you get a daily sell, it's like winner, chicken dinner. It's become, it's always 8.5 out of 10 times right. But sometimes, you get 3 out of 4, or you get 4 out of 5, or something like that. It's kind of nice. 6 out of 7. All right, didn't mean to do that. Let's redo that. There we are. Now let's jump over to cable. Was the disappointment, I have to say, over this holiday weekend. It got into the weekly buy. It looked like it was coming to life. And then, smack. It disappeared. Let's just show you what's going on there. Right there. And that's exactly what's going on. It got into the buy last week. We thought, okay, we were in a daily buy here, but it just couldn't get its legs going. And, we were worried. We talked about that. I said to Robin, we'll write an article on cable Sunday night if that blue line will move up. And that echo, the blue line there, just refused. The 5 of the 3, just refused to even budge. And sure enough, what happens? Sayonara. There it goes. There she blows, the great white whale. Gone. Indeed. Moby Dick. All right, yeah, disappointed there on the second day in a sell. And you can see over here on J4X, it's been Friday, Monday, and Tuesday have been in sells. It peaked out on Friday. That's 14th, 17th, and 18th. Yeah, so it was Friday, the 14th, which was Thursday, really. But they trade, the electronic market and currencies trade straight through. They don't pay attention to holidays. It's just quieter, that's all, less liquid. And so you can see the pressure it's been on there. Whereas on Chicago Quant, we were no dot right there. And I thought, oh, okay, good. It's still showing life. And then red dot on Monday and another red dot on Tuesday. And this buried itself instantly. Just instantly. I was like, no, don't do that. I thought finally we're going to get some juice out of that product. No juice. And if, like I said, Robin and I were looking at it, I said, we talked about it, Robin and I, last week. Like, man, we can write an article for Dukascopy if that thing will just turn up, because it's screaming. But no. Rolls right over. Oh, no. King dollar. And there's nobody to compete against the king dollar. That's the problem. There is no entity, and you can't even, the desire to see blockchain do it is, there, but, I mean, it doesn't have the ability to do it. No ability whatsoever. Can you imagine the Chinese actually putting $1 trillion into blockchain? Not going to happen. Not going to happen. What a risk that would be for them financially. They need that. They need those dollars to be there so they can lean against them with trade and so forth. It's probably like, the PBOC, the People's Bank of China, probably doesn't have enough validity. That's why, the Chinese yuan only trades about 2.5% in world markets. For supposedly the second largest economy, not, but supposedly, then what's happening is that if they really were the second largest economy, they'd be trading like 15, 20% of the world volume would be yuan every day. They have to freeze the yuan to make it look like they're the second largest economy. All right, let's not beat up on the poor little yuan. Let's go over to, from there we take a look at the Turkish Lira. See what Mr. and Mrs. Turkish Lira looks like today. Take a look at the dollar one first, right there. As you can see, it's banging against that range for months, for at least, like a month and a half now. Just banging against the range, at the top of the range there. Let's see what it looks like on J4X. There's right there. You can see the daily is turned up nicely. I wonder what the weekly looks like. Let's see what the weekly looks like on here. Look at the weekly. It's been broken down for 3 weeks now. Ours is, you can see here, just the Chicago Quant one is just having its issues. It's still staying firm. And we're in a daily buy for 3 days. But over on J4X, you can see it's in a buy for 2 days here. Maybe 3. There's the... That's Friday, so Friday, but it was red. But then on Monday and Tuesday, it's in the buy. Now let's take a look at location, and that is the euro against the Turkish lira, the more accurate of the pairs trades. Look at that long, nice run on the downside there. Location. And right there. It is. There we go. It's kind of hanging. So we can do this, widen it more. There you go. You can see it's hanging. That's the white. It's not touching the top end of the range. Kind of trying to move down towards the 50 percentile. We just missed going into a sell last week by the hair of its chinny chin. And we're back in the saddle again. So it's kind of riding hard, riding steady. Just not doing much. And they've really stabilized it. You have to go kudos to the president, Mr. Erdogan. He stepped up to the plate when the world had come to an end for Turkey when it came to currency. Trading up to 18 on the dollar, trading up to 21 on the euro. And they did something that no one talks about doing, and they did it, and it was a smart thing to do. Mr. Putin actually seems to be taking a little play out of that book. He's backing his currency with gold and oil. And so, pretty much if you can... That locks it to the dollar instantly. Whereas the way the Turkish government did it, they just guaranteed free puts for purchase of the currency. So people can buy the currency now and not worry about it falling through the floor. because the government guarantees the price that you bought. So imagine you buy something and you're guaranteed that you'll get your money back at the same price. After a while, that starts to firm up and you start to see growth. Can't wait to see this year's inflation numbers. They peaked out last year at the highest they've ever been over there. All right, from there we jump over to Canadian. See what the Canadian's up to. Right there. Canadian closed in the daily buy there yesterday. Let's put that in. And for something that has oil going up in value, we are a tad surprised that we don't see more strength in this product. But I have to believe it's got to do with the inflation, and it's a cheap little thing to say, but I myself say I follow the math, so we follow the math. But we like to talk about the stories that we think we see, or what we think we understand. And that is usually when oil and gold are strong. Usually the dollar, the Canadian dollar that is always strong against the American dollar. But right now it's not doing anything particular. And matter of fact, well, look at that right there. That teeny weeny little spot. We're actually flirting with a buy. That's even more of a freak out. And look at the blue dashed line jumped across going into this week. Last week it jumped across it. Not a good sign, meaning that there's a chance that they may take Canadian dollar even higher, which is a surprise with the way oil is. Maybe they think oil's going to drop. Maybe that's what it is. Let's take a look at the oil again. Let's see, where is it at? That's an okay there. And there it is. There's the June oil. It is going down in value, so it does put a little pressure on Canada. And look at this too. I'll tell you this. When I saw that on Friday, I saw the dots, the blue dashed line. That's the 5 on the super right there. I saw that start to move up, and I went, ooh, something's brewing. And then they popped it up to 110. And it's a little surprise. I was like, ooh, real push there. And then from there, we slide over to gold right there. Gold moving down. No panic, no worries. What war in Ukraine? What nuclear bombers flying over the sky? All right, from there we go and take a look at, we'll just do this. We'll go over to, from there, because of the way gold is moving down, we'll look at the South African Rand and see what that's up to. Right there. See it on J4X? It's been popping up. That's what happens when gold goes down. They put pressure on the product. Let's put it up over here. Right there. Nice little spiky there. It's been in a buy for 4 days now. Let's put that line in there. And you can see J4X has been the same way. 4 days in a buy. Pushing. Tay, what a quiet morning. Nobody wants to see anything? I'm looking for a little diversion. Doesn't anybody want to see anything? I could use a little diversion. I'm going to head over to the currency that will not be named real quick. But see if somebody will throw something up on the chat line and we'll take a look at it. There's the currency that will not be named. It's been sitting in a buy for days, but the weekly has been in a sell for, this is the 6th week. And we're seeing some turn here. But again, they have locked their currency to the dollar by locking it to crude oil. Corn? Sure. And Yana says, but try LMY. LMT. Okay, let's see what LMT looks like. I recognize that. What is LMT? Let's see what LMT is. And then we'll put corn up there too. LMT. Corn was rocking yesterday. Here comes this. Let's see. Coin. indicator. Let's slip it in. Where shall we slip it in? How about that one there is the what do you call that? That's the Brazilian indice. But let's put LMT in. Format. Ooh, there it is. Come on. You can do it. There we go. Let's move that over out of the way. Let's put LMT in there. You see, did you hear that earlier, Giannis, about the... Oh, Lock Martin. That's what it is. Good old Lock Martin. Did you hear about the crude oils out of the stocks that are being released by Mr. Biden? They're ending up in Amsterdam. LMT. Yep, we have that symbol too. Here it comes. Lock Martin. And what do we got there? Look at how long that was in a buy. Look at that. All the way back to... We could like take that and just change it color. So it went into the weekly buy back in the middle of December. And stock was trading at $341, $346, $7, something like that. And then we take a glide over. It did go into the weekly sell right there. That didn't last long, did it? It went right back into the weekly buy the next week. And it's trading at, what did I say? It was $347. The stock went all the way up to $480 from $340. So it went up $140. What is that? $140 on a $340 stock. So you're talking about a 30-some odd % gain on the weekly. And you can see we contract that up. You see that there. All those buys. Look at the daily buys. Let's move some of this lines out of the way. That's kind of fun. So it went into the buy there. And then, let's see, went into a sell right there for a little bit, a little profit taking, and then right back into the buy right there. And then went into a sell right there for a little profit taking, and jumped back into the buy right there. Went into the sell right there, back into a buy right there. Wow, look at those ziggity zaggities in February. Sell right there. Buy right there. Stayed in a buy till there? No. Right there. It went into the sell. And then the next move was the buy right there for that wild move from 400 and change up to $480. Cool. That was that's a nice winner chicken dinner on options or binaries depending on what you trade. Then it went into the sell there. Stayed down there for a while too, didn't it? And jumped back into the buy right there. Maybe one over. Right there. Went into the buy on that no dot bar. Caught that little ride. And it's still in a buy until right there. So it went into the sell there. And that's where we are now. We're in the sell. But it's back in the buy again. Let's see, Giannis says 35%. Oh, let's see. Here we go. There it is right there. So that's the action. It's an interesting one. Very good, you know. So that's airplanes mainly. I mean, they have a couple of other things, but some type of weapon side. Pretty quiet today. Everyone must still be chilling after the Easter. Yeah, I hear you. Exhaustion. I think that's what you call it. And then what we have, doesn't a good slice of Europe have Little Easter or New Easter or Orthodox Easter this Sunday coming, right? So you got back-to-back Easters going on. All right, you get travel safe on that road. Be safe. Catch yous later. All right. So you said, Robin said corn. Let's see what corn looks like now. Let's check out corn. Close. And let's go open up the corn. Cornucopia. Indeed, indeed. Oh, the second Easter was yesterday. Okay. Ah, I see. Aha. That's the answer to that. I thought it was going to be next weekend. Like the way Christmas does, little Christmas. Okay, so there's corn. You can see, oh, look at her backing off from a high today of 813. What was it? Yesterday they had it up to 816. And today it ran up to 819, almost 20. And we're backing off just a little bit. We've been in a daily buy there since 750, like 3 weeks back. We've been in a weekly buy for 31 weeks now. This is its 31st week. All the way since September, we've been in a weekly buy in that product. I don't even know where it was at that point. The charts don't even show you where it was at that point. Maybe in the sixes? I don't know. Where's this? There it is. So, I thought it was in the fours maybe. I mean, we've been in a weekly buy in corn for so long that it's over half a year now we're in a buy. And that's just following the front spot contracts all the time. That's wild stuff, isn't it? Indeed, indeed. Oh, you know what? I did look at milk. I looked up the symbol, so I'm gonna hunt down milk, and we're gonna have milk on the charts for the commodities for you, Robin. Yeah, that should be interesting. I've looked at it before. It's kind of thin. They trade 500-600 contracts here or 500-600 contracts there a day. Nothing major. There's a fixed thing that goes on from Wisconsin. Wisconsin is like ground zero, and then the further away you are from Wisconsin, the price changes. But they use Wisconsin as the mathematical mean of milk. But there must be some type of supply and demand, price increase thing going on there too. So, all right. Now that we've left the currency that will not be named right there, and it's been bouncing in a daily buy now for a few days here, like almost a week and a half. Let's go over to the yen, which is really, really got my eyeball. Oh, look at that! I mentioned that yesterday in a text to a friend. Was asking me about the yen again. I said, follow the yen. Yen will probably tell us when the dollar is going to top out, because right now the yen is just marching. That might be like a 9-year high we're heading for now. I mean, really. Let's take a look at it on J4X. I mean, the yen is just not giving up. There's the yen. Let's take a look at the weekly. Right there. Matter of fact, we'll just go to the monthly, because I don't think we could even. Let's put it on there. There's a weekly. Where does it get back to? Oh, it does. Okay, so we can see that. So there is 2014-ish. So that's an 8-year high now we're taking out. There is, what is that? That is 2008. Okay. We've taken that high out, 2008 high. So we're talking about a 14-year high now we're in. That's where we are. This currency is at a 14-year high. Like, wow, wow, wow. So I really, I'm really looking forward to, trying to base things off of the yen against the dollar. That seems to be a real indicator there. And look at the way it looks on J4X. I mean, it's been green, 2 days out of, like 35 days, it's been red. That's it. Had that wild dip. Look at that wild dip just for a couple days, a week, and then jumped back in there again. So it went into like the sell summers around up in here. Right? And let's see if we can get that spot. Let's make it bigger. So it went into the sell somewheres here. Did find a way to drift down and went back into the buy, like right in here. I mean, it's just really enamored. You see, we went into a sell right there, and we went back into the buy right there 3 days later, and got in lower basically from the sell, which is nice. And now we're just marching along, and look at that, winner chicken dinner. I thought it would stall out and digest a little bit in the 118.19 area. Forget about that. Here we are at 120. Where are we at now? We are at 128. It's 10 whole handles beyond. Amazing. It just wouldn't let go. And that's why I always say to you, traders, you got to follow the math. Follow the math, and you will win more than you lose. Follow the stories and the fundamentals. That's a whole different game. It really is not that successful to do so anymore. The only place you can do those fundamentals like that is in the stock markets, where they follow the earnings. Earnings is about the mother's milk of it all. If your company keeps on having heavy earnings and cash flow, boom, they buy it. But if you don't have that heavy cash flow and earnings, boom, they sell it. That's what that's all about. All right. From there, let's see where we go. Oh, we go finish off on North America. Let's find the Mexican peso. Right there. So you can see here, peso is playing with the bottom end of the range, not letting go there. And I think we need to move this, make it bigger. Something like that does it. I think that's a little bit clearer, isn't it? We go like that. And let's see if we spread that out a little bit. There we go. That makes it bigger, and you can see it. You can see today we're trying to flirt with the daily sell. And we went to the buy. I guess it's right there. We went into the buy on Friday. And hesitated, and now we're back up to it again. But we're in that weekly sell, so you really can't trade the long side. You need this to turn up. The weekly math must turn up to get you to trade it on the long side. Or again, the other side around is that you would do it through a binary system or an option system, one or the other. All right, let's see. From there, where do we go from there? That's it on the currencies. We will, if someone wants to see something, just shout it out. But we're going to now drift over to the, let's take a look at the energies again. And there's oil making those lows. But at the same time, it's closed in the weekly buy last week and flirting. So there's a whole mixed message there. It's definitely not a winner chicken dinner, that's for sure, traders. Let's see. From there, let's take a look at that back month again as we... Oh, that's gold. That's not oil. There it is. And so there it is. That's better. But still, same situation. Went into a weekly buy. It's trying to roll over there. Let's put it up on J4X. We'll see what Brent is doing at the moment. There's Brent. And it should pop up any second there. There we go. Jumped in the buy also. It's showing its weakness here. Volume is diminishing there. Our daily on the front month is falling down there. Let's see what the back month looks like. Look at October. It's pushed right into the sell already. It's a minus right there. After jumping into the weekly buy last week, it's already flirting with the weakness now. Try to put the right words together, not to confuse anybody. I just don't think it's worth worrying about the oil market at this point. It's going to have more upwardly bias Weakness a lot of times is going to be the best opportunity, and if we go into a daily sell today in the back month, or as you can see there, same thing's happening with the front month Brent. Then what happens? The next buy is going to be probably firm, especially if we're in a weekly buy on the Chicago Quant. Definitely volatile times, traders, in this particular product, and we usually catch it pretty well. It has been a winner chicken dinner product with lots of wins. All right, from there, let's see what Nat Gas. Boy, I heard about Nat Gas last night at dinner. Family and friends were saying, when is it going to stop going up? I said, you should see what Europe looks like. I said, we're flirting with the $7, $7.40 area in natural gas. That's not too bad. But look at, and we'll throw it up on Chicago Quant. Right there. It's been in a weekly buy for a long time, like in the teens since January. Late January. It's been in a buy since the 4s. Right in there. So it looks like it's trying to double. But look at this. Look at the European one. It's probably trading at 30 now. Natural gas in Europa. Where is it at? It'll pop out of here in a second. I'll see it. There it is right there. Nat gas. No, it's still hanging on the 29s. Interesting. 29.46. I would have thought it would, with the way we're seeing here in the States, I would have thought natural gas would have climbed up into the 3s in Europe. Yeah, so that's the pressure we see. Now look at that today. We're really pushing hard down on it. Maybe it was just thin markets that it got going on. Let's see what J4X is saying about it. Yeah, see, it's starting to try to roll over there too. That's on the European. And let's see what the American looks like. Yep, trying to do the rollover again too at a very high range in the 91 area on the battle between the two stochastics of fast and slow of two different varieties. All right, from there we'll jump over to the gold. Gold right there. See it dropping down. Trying to roll over there. You're getting a red developing. And over on Chicago Quant, a red developing. No bar there. Red developing. So that's the June contract. Let's see what silver looks like. Right there. It is in the minus at the moment. And the weekly is trying to close in a weekly buy this week. There is some firm pressure coming in on the upside. And there it is on J4X. White line has pierced. And we're still in the green, but we're waiting to see if it'll join in, which it usually does. Alright. That's silver. Let's see what copper. Copper had a really wild couple day move. I guess that was just sizing up against positions or something like that. There it is right there. Yeah, they've given it all back. And it's starting to push into the minus now. And a red dot is developing at the same time. Has developed at the same time. So the pressure is definitely on. We're going to just throw that red line in there just for reminders of it. And put that there like that. And look at the weekly. The weekly's pushing right back into the sell as we speak. Let's put the little circly thing in there. And then, last but not least, the platinum. July platinum holding up pretty firm from yesterday. But it's in that weekly sell since here, so you can't take the long, which protected you from being short, that's for sure. If it gets into a sell, maybe we'll see it back down into the 950 again. All right, traders. Let's see. From the platinum, we did the oils. Now we've done the metals. So we're pretty much complete the whole cycle. And we're willing to look at anything anybody would like to see. Robin, you want to see anything particular? You interested in seeing something? You saw the corn, and that's something. Corn in the $8 area again. That's front month, of course. But that is interesting. That is interesting. That's for sure. Oop, wrong one. Let's take a look at stock indices. We can look at that. Take a look at Bitcoin, things like that. Accidentally closed the wrong one. There we are. Let's just put the Aussie in there for tonight. There we go. And there it is. All right. So from there, let's see what the stock indices look like. There's the NASDAQ 100. They pushed it into a... Oh, I thought it was in a buy. I guess they've generated a red dot, so I'm just going to leave it like that. And then get rid of that. Remove. More volume came in for some reason. And that's holding on to the sell side of things. Now we're flirting with the weekly sell. Maybe it's oatsy dotsies and little dies and daisies. Okay. The oats, they were, I think they were pushing down this morning when I did them. But let's open them up. Little dotes and daisies and daisies. Now there's May trading at 808 right now. And let's see, there is September. September is trading at 763. That's new crop at this point. So new crop is in the 760s. Old crop is in the $8. Let's see. There's July. Let's see what July looks like. July is 803, so it's off just a little bit. Discounted on some level. And then, last but not least, that's the deck right there. Deck's hanging out in 747 area. So the back months are weak, but then, what happens if the crop doesn't show? Now here's oats and dotes and little daisy daisies. It went into the sell on last week and still hanging around down there. Weakness, but look at the weekly. Not willing to let go. Man, it moves 50 cents. And, it just doesn't shudder, does it? These commodities are just so powerful in their actions and the concerns. Wow. That is something. Oats and dotes and little daisy daisies. So there's that. The S&P 500 is right there. Still in a sell. Banging around. And you can see the weekly is now starting to flirt with the sell side too. Look at that. Right there. Let's do a save there so that stays in there. And then let's take a look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average right there. You see it's trying to push into a daily sell right now as we speak also. Now the weekly had been minus, but now it's plus again, so we'll get rid of that. Now from there, let's see what Mr. and Mrs. Bitcoin are doing. There it is right there. Lifting up a little bit. Looks like it tried to put it to buy in there yesterday. And it closed in a weekly sell. And now we are flirting right back with the daily sell too. So this might be, well, look how deep down the blue line is. It's pretty far down below the manifold. And what's interesting is watching the green line start to pierce down below underneath the manifold. Could be, we can show you, when that stuff starts to happen underneath the manifold, which is kind of semi-rare, or when it does it on the top, it can be a top. In this case here, we might be starting to build for another Bitcoin bottom. A Bitcoin bottom again. See if it does that over the next 3 or 4 days. All right. Let's do some short term, something entertaining. Unless someone wants to see something. I want to do something fun. Always willing to answer questions, but what can we talk about that is interesting to learn? And right there, you can see they're loading it up. And there is this is the S&P 500, the world's most popular index. And you can see it went into a buy right here. This is an intraday. This is a 639 Tesla, which 396 is a one full Tesla, and then you Fibonacci it again, and next thing you know, this is a 1 2/3. So, and you can see we got into the buy here. Did it go into? Went into a sell right there. Didn't win long. Actually, it didn't barely win at all, and then you lost a little do-re-mi right there, compared to all the money you made on this move from there to there, from the 79.5 to the 82.5. So that's 3 handles, and then it puts you into a sell at 82. Is it 82? 81 basically, 80.75, and settles at 82.5. So 1 1/4. You give up half of what you made right there off that little squiggly, and then puts you right back into the buy at the end of this, and you get it pretty much almost all back. So that move gives you all the money back again. And now you can see it flirted with a sell again right there on this one, the third one. And it's still in the sell. And we'll see how this, you see the breaking down right here too. And so it's always fun to watch the intraday, because it, proves our opinion that, short term or long term, our math does a really good job of reading it. So maybe they'll put a little pressure on it. It's U.S. stock market opens up in about 6.5, 7 minutes. So that'll put pressure on the markets to do something. What are we seeing? I think the stock indices overall, they've been kind of quiet. They've not been, they're like the Bitcoin. They've just been kind of hanging around, but not really making any real loud noise about it all. So the Dow Jones Industrial Average is basically unchanged. And the NASDAQ 100 is basically acting. The S&P is down 3 points, almost 4 points, and then the NASDAQ is down 31 points. So it's just kind of flirting around. Nothing. There's no noise. That's not even a plus or minus. That's just noise. Now look at that. They just threw the intraday into a daily, into a buy in that thing. It's in a buy now. So let's see if it's going to go take out this high over here. Run up at least and take. There he goes. There she flies. Watch her go like a little moonshot. Boom, 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 boom. That's what we always tell you. You just tune in. Doc puts up the short-term intraday chart, and it's like money, money, money in the pocket. Just follow the math. See if there's another push to come. You can see the way the blue line took off. Yep, still pushing up into here. Maybe one more little pop and then they'll digest or slide. But they are walking in and trying to buy off of that little buy there. Zoom, zoom, zoom. 2 full points now. Zoom, zoom, zoom. And that's why we like to throw the intraday up, to give you that flavor. How successful the daily and the weekly are. There it is. The intraday does the same exact thing. Look at it go. Zoom, zoom, zoom. I see. So the opening bell is just a few minutes away, and they were reaching up for it. Nice spike. Let's see. Now it should start to digest after that cute little pop. That's good money management. What you do is you take your profits and go. Take your profits and go. Go, go, go. All right, traders. Anybody want to talk or look at anything else? If not, we're going to start saddling up the horse and get ready to go ride. Go do trading. So we think, what else can we look at here? Not much. You're just watching that little intraday buy just keep on gliding up. So it's gone almost 3.5 points from the signal. Zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. All right. We're going to jump out of here. What should we call today, too? I got to put a title up for this. Anybody have an opinion on what we talked about? We'll have to come up with a name for this one. What did we talk about at the beginning? Could go with that. We looked at all the products. I'm trying to figure out what we can't think. We'll have to play around with an idea. If no one has an idea, I'll just throw something up there. All right, traders. This is Doc from North America, and we will catch you on the flip side tomorrow. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Be safe, be smart, traders. Catch you tomorrow. Tomorrow will be middle of the week already. Happy to hump day. Bye-bye.